I get why it upsets Christians. Witchcraft bad. But in my head, I'm like, Lord of the Rings has magic as well. Where is the barometer? You want to get started? You want me to?
What's that smell?
What are you doing?
It smells like burnt popcorn. All the sounds. I don't even know which one did that.
I don't know either. I think it was this blinking one
It just
right
keeps
here.
looping.
Yeah. Might need to use that soundbite for the gackies.
For the khakis. Make it stop.
Make it stop. Oh, it was an on-off function.
Yeah, it rolls. I guess it just keeps going.
Bro, I'm just thinking of this podcast stuff. Yeah. Burnt popcorn. Welcome. We're back. Episode 2.
Episode 2. Who would have thought we'd come this far?
In 2 weeks.
It's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
That was deep, man. Dang. Write that one down.
This has been... Which brings me to today's sponsor. You guys.
You guys at home. Viewers like you.
You're along for the journey.
Yes.
The hero's journey, if you will.
There you go. People at home, this is Burnt Popcorn yet again. My name is McKinney Griffin. I am a freelance cinematographer, director, and editor. And to my left/front is the handsome,
Oh, wow.
the stylish,
Oh, my.
NASCAR-inspired.
Yep. Jeremy Carroll, creative director at movieguide.org. Oh, yeah. And here we talk about all things movie, cinema,
Yes,
art, pop culture,
absolutely.
the works. Where were you at?
Well, basically, so I stumbled upon a little bitty web article saying that HBO is getting ready to revamp the Harry Potter franchise. I don't know if that word is taboo around here or not.
Revamp? No, we use that a lot.
Yeah, no, you stop. I can't tell when you're joking sometimes. I was like, are you serious? We can do co-host. I just play. HBO is getting ready to revamp the Harry Potter franchise. And it's kind of the brief moment that we talked about it. It was instantly you brought up this book right here by, do you care if I connect you to
Do it.
your father-in-law?
Let's do it.
His father-in-law wrote this book.
Yes, sir.
Frodo and Harry, understanding visual media and its impact on our lives. And you recommended I watch it. I'm sorry, listened.
How do books work again?
I'm reading it, I promise. I'm 3 chapters in. You recommended that I read it because Dr. Bear points out.
Dr. Ted Bear and Dr. Tom Schneider.
Tom Schneider, my bad.
Snyder, not Schneider.
My bad. Shout out to Tom Snyder. I did say Schneider.
I did too, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes
I only known him for like 10 years. But,
really?
You know.
Ooh, we better clean that up quick. But yeah, it kind of goes over it's a very practical, I don't know if debate is the right word, a very practical compare and contrast to the world of J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter, the Harry Potter franchise, and the Lord of the Rings, Hobbit franchise by Tolkien. And that kind of just got me, down this rabbit hole of...
Because we're within the faith community, and that's a big talking point. Is Harry Potter in the schools,
evil.
The evil, and the way magic's used. And basically, the book is about contrasting that with other fantastical elements from other IP, essentially Lord of the Rings, C.S. Lewis's work. And what's the difference there? Because if we're casting spells and making potions and doing magical things, it's like, well, where's the line where that becomes a cult versus, borderline redemptive or anything like that? So the book really does kind of like delve into both sides of it and kind of gets into a deeper deep dive into it, and it gets pretty dense, but I think it's pretty interesting. We had that whole thing with my family when I was in elementary school.
Really?
The Harry Potter series is getting big. Yeah. It's getting bigger. And I was going into Christian school, and it was all the big thing, like going around, like I think even a teacher sent home like a letter, like, oh, by the way, these books are not okay at school. Yeah. So it was a thing for sure.
So I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
My hot take. Well, in regards to, I don't think it's specifically just the magic element itself.
Yeah.
So that's not actually the big problem. I think the bigger problem is how is it used and what is the ultimate outcome from using it. So a big part of it is in Harry Potter, he's training and learning these things to become essentially godlike powers, right? He can overcome everything else just through his own efforts of learning all of these things, right? That's essentially, he's got to defeat Voldemort, the main baddie, but he has to overcome him using all these things himself, right? So it kind of elevates Harry to this supreme position, essentially.
I can see that. Yeah.
In contrast, you have Aslan in Narnia. He's essentially the god figure. No one can supersede him. He wrote the magic. He understands the magic. He created it. And everyone under him utilizes it in different ways. Like the White Witch is using evil witchcraft. So there's two sides to the magic. There's a light side and a dark side. Kind of like Star Wars. Star Wars is the same kind of thing, though, as like you become a Jedi, the chosen one. He's the ultimate deity, essentially. And then also in Lord of the Rings, there's actually a god figure. The movies don't talk about it as much, but it's Eru. I can't pronounce any of these, like Elven, whatever names.
Dang, you want to Google it right?
But I have it here. It's Eru Luvatar, I think.
Luvatar
is a monotheistic god who basically created Middle Earth, and it's referenced in the books, but the movies kind of push that aside. The other thing is if magic can be utilized by humans to overcome or become deity-like, right? So like in Lord of the Rings, it's very specific who can use magic. I think it's, only the elves, Gandalf, and Sauron. And Sauron's manipulating evil magic. Like they have that orb thing where they say like that's forbidden, but then like
is that the one covered with the blanket?
Saruman loves using it and seeing the thing. So there's like very distinctive evil versions versus like, oh, this is a generic thing and you can use it for good or you can use it for evil. And I think that's kind of where the line gets drawn, is like, if you're using it to become godlike, bad. And that's kind of the difference, I think. Yeah. That's kind of like boiled down to me what I think it's like.
I got you. So it sounds like using it essentially to become God, and where the magic, air quote magic, that you're using is coming from seems to be the pillar, if you will, of both.
There's another layer of whether or not the magic is being used to subdue someone else.
What do you mean?
And like stop people from approaching your deity level, right? So like you can, I don't know, it's getting more complicated, but in the book, it basically is arguing that the magic should be used to glorify God and redemption and salvation of all the peoples involved, rather than just crushing and destroying everything in its sight, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, there's elements of that in Harry Potter too. Like, there's actually some pretty strong, like, self-sacrifice elements in there.
Yeah, Ted said that in the book, which I was happy to hear.
Yeah, and I think there's some universal themes that people really resonate with, especially if it's like that kind of like laying down your life for those that you love thing. That's a huge theme that everyone can kind of resonate with. Yeah. And those are good themes. But I do think that ultimately the magic and witchcraft, what they explicitly call it, School of Witchcraft.
Yeah, they're very blatant.
I think the end goal is to become the ultimate wizard, right? And that's kind of like in real world witchcraft, that's kind of the same thing. Like it's like a bad outcome because you're taking away from God. and in the other ones, there's a deity that's higher than the magic itself.
Yeah.
I think that's a distinct difference, even if the movies aren't totally explicit about that. I mean, C.S. Lewis is literally explicit, and Tolkien even made fun of him for it. He was
Really?
like, you got Aslan in there? Like, that's so obvious.
Yeah.
Like, Aslan literally dies. Like, he has the magic used on himself to die.
And then comes back.
Right.
Resurrected.
Right. So
Yes.
he's like utilizing the magic.
The Lion of Judah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Shout
It's
out to
very on the nose.
Yeah, I
But-
think one of the, I guess, because one of the things I don't want to do is like be out here like I'm championing one and instead of the other. Like, my stance is I'm very neutral on both. When Harry Potter and when Lord of the Rings came out, the film, it was around 2001, so they're both kind of like these giant things that are kind of competing with each other.
Good era for movies, by the way.
And there'll never be another one
Golly.
like it. Yeah. But what I do see is like that, and even Dr. Bear says in his book, like he was really quick to kind of give them praise where praise is due in terms of acting performance, in terms of story, which was really well done. But the part where I'm kind of neutral on is like, okay, to people who know, is a man of faith, right? Believes in God, and whether purposefully or subconsciously, I think it's the verse, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? And in his case, your pen speaks. Same thing. And so that's gonna more or less come from the overflow of his heart, the well of his heart, more or less, his relationship with God. Rowling, who doesn't know God unless there's been some sort of update in the last few months or years, doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And one of the things that I've kind of always been like, really Christian people, is that it just seems like they would prefer if only people who can create are Christian. And that's where the line gets muddied for me, where I'm almost like, no, Christians, stop. Because I'm like, do I want to live in a world where we're more or less being dictator over who can say what and who can put out what? And I was thinking about this last night. Well, I guess technically 2 nights ago, when I was thinking about what we're going to do on the podcast. But I was like, if I become the person where I'm just like, okay, you can only create what I want you to create. You know what I mean? Like, it has to come through the filter of everything that I believe is right. I feel like that's when we kind of approach a slippery slope to it all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I think as an audience member, that's where discernment comes in.
Yeah.
And understanding the worldviews. And that was a big thing that attracted me to Movie Guide itself, is that the Movie Guide reviews even aren't like, yes, go see this, or don't go see this. We just give you everything that's in the movie.
Yeah.
We tell you what the worldview is, and make your own decision.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's good.
And hopefully people are making good decisions. You're not going to go blatantly see some horrific, like super anti everything that you hold close. But you're right. I think you can't be a dictator, especially when we're promoting like free speech and everything else. You've got to be able to create